What's up guys and welcome. You are watching Fazi Fitness. So we are starting this video with James Hollingshead and his announcement regarding what show he is gonna do other than the Arnold this year. So the one show that James missed this year, and there was a lot of pressure on him for doing that show, that was this year's Detroit Pro. So the man is in for that one, as well as for FIBO Germany. So I just mentioned this yesterday, that there will hardly be any Olympia qualifier next year, where we won't have multiple athletes coached by Stefan fighting for their Olympia qualification. So as of right now, we have James Hollingshead, Sergio Oliva Jr. and Martin Fitzwater, all these guys doing FIBO Germany. Now it is so great that some of these shows, they have such big and competitive lineups next year, and they also have a huge amount of prize money as well. That is gonna give all these athletes the opportunity to win a big payday, and also us fans more opportunities to see some of the top IFB pros compete multiple times next year. So James has been progressing extremely well, especially in this offseason, and we have all seen his updates where he's weighing 300 pounds, and that too in a very lean offseason body composition. And this, I believe, is gonna be a big year for James Hollingshead. And truth be told, it's gonna be a very challenging year for Stefan, who is turning out to be the best coach of the year in reference to the number of clients that he is coaching at the moment. So either this much workload that will tarnish his reputation, or he will be an absolute mastermind if he nails each and every one of these athletes on the show day. Now Muhammad Fada at this past Miss Olympia, that is a prime example of not peaking so good. So mistakes can happen, but we will see how this upcoming year goes for Stefan. The new progress pictures of Joan Pradells, that does make you think that he is gonna be another one of those guys to watch out for in 2025. So there is an angle at which all of these pictures are taken, because if this front double biceps looks this good on the stage, he is gonna do extremely well against many top pros, because that is some insane size that he has right now, and it's very eye-pleasing as well. And he made some tremendous size improvements, especially in his legs, in his outer quad sweep. So it has been 18 months since Juan stepped on the pro stage for the one and only time, and instead of competing after every few months, he made this great decision so early in his career to take a long break, go back to the drawing board, work on his overall physique, build up some more size, some more density, especially in his back, and come back to claim his Olympia spot, or at least be in the discussion to potentially win his first pro show next year. Now it will definitely be very interesting to see what show he goes for in 2025, because he has to be very realistic here. In fact, many of the former IFB pros and even a 3-time Olympian like Andre Presti and also Theo Verrier, they have to be very mindful on whether there is going to be a veteran doing a show like Spain, because if a guy like Barros Sabani shows up there, it's just over for all of these guys. So the good thing for Juan is that he is still very young, and he has plenty of time to keep getting better, keep evolving, and be a formidable force in the future in the men's open bodybuilding. Next up, we have Mike Sommerfeld posing for Jay Cutler at 10 weeks out of this year's Arnold, Ohio. Now, if I'm not mistaken, this is his first time doing the Arnold, and what a time for Mike that he is gonna enter this show as the hot favorite to not only win this show, but based on his Olympia performance this year, he should absolutely dominate this show. So looking at all of these pictures, one can easily say that Mike just did not lift his foot off the gas post-Olympia this year. The man is still firing all the cylinders. So that close second place finish behind Chris Bumstead, that was all the motivation that he needed to improve even more. Because as of right now, he is gonna be the favorite to win not only just this upcoming Arnold, but the Olympia next year as well. I mean, look at those quads, they are feathered already. He has that great abs detail, and he looks so damn good at 10 weeks out that he can just keep chipping away little by little and present an even better package compared to what we saw at the Olympia this year. So why it is gonna be so hard for some of these guys to beat Mike Sommerfeld? Well, he has got that incredible density and an insane amount of thickness to his physique, especially for a classic physique guy. Plus, he has no weaknesses whatsoever, and on top of all that, he still has room to get bigger. And when we compare that to the reigning Arnold champion, Wesley, there is quite an apparent upper to lower body imbalance, especially if we look at his Olympia package. Now, Wesley also posted a recent physique update, and as always, the man looks very round and very big for 10 weeks out. So maybe this time, Wesley is gonna apply a different strategy, and he doesn't get ready at 6 weeks out of the show, because that was his story for this past Miss Olympia prep. And I think that was one of the major reasons why he kinda burned out. Now, when it comes to Wesley, there is literally zero margin for error, especially in terms of peaking. He did not have the same wow factor at the Olympia this year that he had at the Arnold earlier this year, and the judges made such an easy call, dropping him to second call out. Now, Wesley for surely was really shredded for this past Miss Olympia, there is zero doubt about that, but his muscles just weren't popping the way they were supposed to, or the way they were at the Arnold this year. So after watching these 10 weeks out updates of Mike and the reigning Arnold champion Wesley, I have got to say Wesley should be a bit worried. So this picture of Tonio Burton and his claim of being 100% natural, that is certainly gonna trigger many people out there, because a guy with average genetics, they can take all the gear, all the PEDs, and they still can't even look close to that. And those, I have got to say, are some of the top tier genetics that Tonio Burton has. And that is why it has translated so well on the biggest bodybuilding stage, because he was top 8 at the Olympia last year. So Tonio Burton must have put on about 40 pounds of solid muscle since he turned pro. And as of right now, he is about 40 pounds heavier than the last time he competed, because he was in the low 220s at that time, and that was Cali Pro this year. And before his accident this year, he was touching to 160 pounds with an insane off-scene body composition. So he is obviously genetically very gifted. And even if you look at him in reference to how he compares with the men's open bodybuilding class, he doesn't look like a small guy, especially from the back. It is the front shots that makes him appear kinda smaller, standing next to guys like Martin and Nick Walker, because both these guys are also of the same height. So those calf delts that we can see in his natural picture, that is mostly a sign of someone on the juice. But that being said, there have been some genetic freaks in every era of bodybuilding. Ronnie Coleman claimed to be natural for so many years, and Phil Heath as well. And we saw how their careers just totally took off when these guys took the other path. So I for one am really looking forward to seeing Tonio back on the bodybuilding stage, specifically at the Legion Sports next year. So after watching this recent physique update of Jeremy Buendia, I have to wonder why he did not go for this upcoming Arnold, because that is a great spot to be at for 10 weeks out of the show. Now his focus solely on bodybuilding, that will never be the same as it used to be back in the day when he was chasing all those Olympia titles, because he also has a family now, so he will always have to work around that. So Jeremy wants to achieve a certain number in terms of the weight before he starts another prep, and I have got to say he does look very round and very huge right now. But as you guys know, he made the announcement even before the list came out that he won't be doing this upcoming Arnold. So Jeremy 100% believes that he missed his peak big time at his last Miss Olympia, and that is why he placed 8th. Now I believe the division has certainly evolved, so it is a bit far-fetched if anyone thinks that they can take more than 4 years off, come back and win the title for the 5th time. But he can show up better than the Olympia in whatever show he does next year. And that will also mark the end of his competitive career. So hit the thumbs up button if you liked the video, and smash the subscribe button if you wanna come back for more. Thanks for watching.